Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Today, I, Noor Irena Jasmine, will be talking about the salient Sharia issues in the contemporary application of the Al-Inah contract. I will be going through three things, which the first is the introduction to the contract, second, which are the two issues, and third and lastly, the conclusion to the Al-Inah contract. Moving on to the introduction, what is Al-Inah? Al-Inah is a dual sale contract used in Islamic finance to provide Sharia-compliant liquidity by selling and repurchasing the same asset. Though accepted in some schools like Shafi'i, which is in Malaysia, it remains controversial due to its resemblance to interest-based loans and potential misuse. Which now brings us to the first issue, the improper sequencing of the contracts, which is also known as the akad. The issue, which is executing both sale contracts together, makes Al-Inah resemble an interest-bearing loan and violates Sharia requirements for independent transactions. Instead of executing the two contracts, the sale and the repurchase, independently, some institutions carry them out together or plan them in one agreement. But this doesn't make the transaction look like a disguised loan, which contradicts the Islamic principle that each contract must stand alone without preconditions. Now moving on to the second issue, where most institutions use Al-Inah as a legal stratagem, which is also known as hayal. The issue here is Al-Inah is often used as a cash mechanism rather than real trade, undermining the ethical goals of Islamic finance. So a legal stratagem in this case means using a contract in the means of Islam and looking formal, even though it does not go with the actual intentions that Islam wants it to be, and is used for other controversial means. So why does this happen? Al-Inah is easy to implement, so it provides quick liquidity and doesn't require third-party involvement. Its legal acceptance in countries like Malaysia encourages continued use despite concerns about its ethical validity. This occurs because Al-Inah is simple, and so it is permitted as well in jurisdictions like Malaysia, so financial institutions continue to use it to remain competitive and meet customer demand for quick financing. What we can do as a resolution is financial institutions should adopt alternatives like tawarruk, which involves real third-party transactions. This will ensure that it's a genuine trade and it takes place and better aligns with Sharia objectives and ethical standards without having to find a loophole just for it to become accepted. In conclusion, while Al-Inah was created as a Sharia-compliant solution to provide liquidity, its modern implementation has raised serious concerns. The improper sequencing of contracts and its use as a legal trick challenge the integrity of Islamic finance, which we don't want, and it risks violating the prohibition of riba, which is interest, one of the biggest issues in financing today. To preserve its validity, Al-Inah must be properly structured or replaced with more ethically sound alternatives like tawarruk as mentioned earlier. It is essential for Islamic finance to uphold not just the legal form of Sharia, but also its true objectives, which are transparency, fairness, and real economic value. Thank you for your time today. This was my presentation for Al-Inah.